Good evening. Welcome to the 2016, September 13th, Planning and Zoning meeting. Call the meeting to order. We'll begin with a moment of silence for all the men and women in uniform and the pledge. So let's do the pledge first. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now for a moment of silence, please. Amen. Thank you. Roll call, please, Kathy.
Chairman McKee,
Here.
Vice Chairman Marcotte,
Here.
Member Keithler,
Here.
Member Dillard,
Here.
Member West, Member Sills,
Here.
Member Evans, here, Member Richmond, Member Wunderlich.
Here.
Chairman, we have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Before we move to consent agenda, I just want to welcome Roger Wunderlich to our board here.
Thank you, sir, very much.
Would you like to take a moment and tell us about your background experience and
Briefly,
Yeah.
In 1971, I started work for the Chicago Real Estate Board.
that's going back a ways.
Yes, 5 years later, the Illinois Association of Realtors hired me, then the Florida Association hired me, Florida Association of Realtors for 21 years, out of work for a year, 4 years with the Florida State University College of Medicine here in the Orlando Regional Campus, working with 3rd and 4th year med students in their clinical studies, and now as a part-time cast member working as a park greeter in the Magic Kingdom. Ta-da!
Very good. I thought that was a good voice you had for that. Radio voice, I'd call it.
Yeah.
I see Mr. Milton has joined us. Thank you, sir.
Running late.
No problem, no problem.
Did you
More
beat the
than that.
rain? Did you beat the rain? I did.
He looks dry.
I've been all
He
over
looks
Orlando
dry.
today, and they said 90% chance of rain, and it
I
never
know.
rained.
You know what?
Never rained a drop.
Anywhere.
There's clouds everywhere.
Yeah.
With that, we'll move to the consent agenda, which is the minutes of the Planning and Zoning meeting of August 9th, 2016. So I'm looking for a motion.
Motion to approve.
We have one motion. I think I have a second.
Second.
Got a couple of seconds. Which one do you want, Kathy?
Mr. West.
Milton and
Second pick.
Greg.
Yeah.
Okay. Got a motion and a second. Any conversation issues in the minutes that we need to discuss or correct? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Mr. Chairman, because
Yes,
I
sir.
was not a member of the commission at the August meeting, I have abstained from voting on the minutes.
I understand that. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you. Kathy's got all the information. Okay, moving along. We do have a little bit of old business. If we can take care of it right now, it just came up. Greg, would you like to do this for us? This is concerning lot size. Greg has done some research and has a little bit of presentation for us. I think it concerns many of us about the lot size getting smaller and in the new developments.
So, Roger, you haven't been here for all this, but a couple of us, maybe in particular, have expressed concerns of late with the smaller lot sizes that are coming in for development. So I got with Mike and Sherry Seaver and went through all the data going back to 2011 of all the developments that we've approved. And so that's just the data that's presented here. And it's presented in the context of just presenting facts, so we know where we are on that. So these are all the developments that we looked at. Some of them have not been approved yet, but Mike knows the particulars on the lot sizes for example, Arden Park, their next phase hasn't been officially submitted yet, but he has the plans and he knows the lot sizes, so we folded that data in here. So it's a total of 2,200, and Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, I think all but about 100 of those are in the very north end of town. So almost all of the development for single-family homes in Ocoee has taken place basically at Fuller's Cross Road and north of that. So here are the average lot widths for those developments that you just saw plotted against time that they took place. So you can see there's a steady downward trend, and in fact, except for what is Ocoee Pines, everything since 2013 has been below 55 feet, average lot width. Just to show you what that looks like, it gives you a 5-foot setback, which gives you 10 feet in between houses, and that's what it looks like. That's up there in McCormick. What's the name of that one? Mike? McCormick Reserve. Just one more picture there that shows you what 10 feet between houses looks like. When you plot it pre-2014 and post-2014, it looks like this. You can see that pre-2014, about 56% of the houses were 55 feet or less. Now that's up to 83% of the houses since then are 55 feet or less. So when you look at all that, there's a few statements you can make. Of all those lots, the average width is 56 feet, and 70% of them are 55 feet or less. That's all the lots that we've, in all those developments. For lots planned before 2014, though, the average width was 60 feet, and 56% of the lots were 55 feet or less. Since 2014, the average width is 50 3/4 feet, and 83%, as I just pointed out, are 55 feet or less. So far in 2016, for all the lots that have been submitted to us, 100% are 50 feet or less. So in some, then, compared to the pre-2014 period, lots submitted so far in 2016 are 26% narrower on average, and there are no lots wider than 50 feet. And of interest, I think, is that nearly all of these lots, tightly packed lots, are concentrated in the north end of town. So that's the information that I found out. Just wanted to share since we talk about it a lot. This is just the basic factual information. Yes, sir.
Just as a question, did you, or is there any correlation with the size of the home? So have the size of the homes actually scaled down, or do you know that? Or you just didn't look at that at all?
Mike might know that. I didn't gather that data.
You know, the lot size, the house sizes have not scaled down. We don't
So
have
they
that
haven't
empirical
accurately
data.
scaled down, so,
Correct.
okay.
Yeah.
Let's see, there was one more comment I was going to make, but I can't remember.
Is there any correlation or, I guess, parallel with the other communities in the Orange County or the
Well,
Tri-County area?
that's actually what I was going to bring up. Thanks for bringing that up. I think Mike is working with Commissioner Grogan to look, since this is all in Commissioner Grogan's district, to maybe gather some data from other communities around us, Orlando, Winter Garden, Apopka, to see if they're having the same kind of thing going on, or if it's disproportionate in Ocoee, if the builders are just trying to force more of these smaller lots on us. That would be reason for concern. I think it's also reason for concern that the concentration of these tightly packed lots is in the north end of town. But anyway, thanks for asking.
All right, thank you. One thing I guess I would bring up that over the years, it seems like it's been a function of the economy and how much the lots and homes could be sold for. So it looks like we have a couple of real estate experts on the panel here. Can you tell us what your experience has been with it? As far as,
Well, I
cost
I
versus
appreciate
size?
his research, and I think that's good, because, realize that till you look at it. But I think it's just a matter of what people want. Your builder's gonna get out there and build what sells.
So it's
and
more of what people want
It's
rather
a
than
trend.
a function of.
It's a trend. The millennials and everything, a lot of them, they don't want that big yard they gotta mow every
I don't
Saturday.
mind either.
They want to come home after work and go somewhere, do something and everything. I was raised with big lots. I live on a big lot. And,
Excuse me, the 50-year-olds don't want to mow either.
that's true too.
Yeah, there's a
But,
difference.
but it is good information. It is.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the trend there.
It definitely is.
Well, I think that you're absolutely right. There is a trend. I think we pointed out that like the dinks the last time, the dual income, no kids, that fits right into their lifestyle. But
Yeah.
the other thing that I think is true, and maybe Roger could make a comment on that, is we're in a hot market right now.
Yeah.
And if this is all that's available, then that's what's going to sell.
Yeah.
And so it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy when you say, well, that's what's selling, is because that's what they're building.
That's true too.
You know, understanding generations, just current generations that are coming out, they're not really having that many kids. I believe the average right now is, this sounds weird, it's 1.2 per household. So,
Do you get to pick?
I
which
guess
ones
you
to
don't
build?
really need that big of a yard, but if you did have like a bigger family, it's kind of strange because I just picture, growing up and, doing what I did in my yard, but if I had to go to a common area, that means I would have to get along with everybody that's in the neighborhood. And that didn't always happen, but it's interesting.
Yeah. It is.
Any
So-
more comments? Oh,
Yeah, I would like to thank Mike and Sherry for taking the time. They spent a fair amount of time digging all that stuff. It's not the kind of data that's just readily available, actually. You kind of have to
yeah,
dig it out.
it's good to see it graphically portrayed that way. I didn't realize it was that, I had the feeling it was happening, but I didn't realize that it really was that distinct, so. All right, without that, we'll move on to the next,
Thank you. Thanks for
Carry
the
on,
opportunity
carry on.
to do this.
thank you. Okay, on to new business now. The Cube Smart 2, West 50 Commercial Subdivision, preliminary final site plan. And this is that area next to the turnpike, I presume.
Yes, it is. For the
Yes.
record, Mike Rimmer, City Planner.
Thank you,
And
Mike.
this is a combined preliminary final site plan for Cube Smart 2. The reason it's called Cube Smart 2 is because on the lot next to it is Cube Smart 1 that was just recently CO'd. And I'll show a little
So that's-
aerial, so you can see the development. This lot is Lot 4 in the West 50 Commercial Subdivision. There was 4 lots and then a drainage track, public roads. The Cube Smart 1 was the first lot to come in. That is right here. And I'll show you a Google map that depicts it better. Lot 2, we have on an approved small-scale site plan for an indoor shooting range for the Orlando Gun Club. They did purchase the property, however, they have not come forward with a building plan and will need to extend their site plan or else it'll become invalid. Lot 3 is the pause and play indoor doggy daycare. This is the stormwater track back here, and then Lot 4. Now, Lot 4 previously had a Hampton Inn
Yes. Oh, that was-
hotel approved on it, yes, and then during the downturn, I had called a number of times and finally reached the owner, and he just said it's more efficient for him to purchase a bankrupt hotel than to build a new one, so. The property is since sold, and the Cube Smart on the east side purchased it, and what's being proposed is a 49,000 square foot indoor storage and indoor RV and boat storage, so nothing outdoor. When the original Cube Smart came in with the frontage on 50, the city had a requirement that the building up on the road have indoor storage and actually have some retail available, which they have 4 retail spaces on the first floor. And then back in the back part of the site plan is the indoor storage, but more of that typical storage you see. The proposed building here, there's 2 buildings, you'll see. The property zone C3, which allows this is our heavy commercial, allows the storage. So you see the 2 buildings, and these depict the RV parking. So you can back in whatever length RV is associated. This is normal storage, all climate controlled. This parcel's not, this parcel fronts West Run Road, not Highway 50. The turnpike off-ramp is elevated above this property. As you can see, you can't tell the elevation, but if you've driven by it, you're over this building. It's higher than that. This will be the build-out of the subdivision. Recently, we had the Daniels subdivision, the 3-lot subdivision over here, which annexed in, and this is where the vet is going to go, the 24-hour vet hospital. And so it'll be an extension of that West Road, but this is Lot 4 of the West 50 commercial subdivision.
What's Ray Toby
I'm sorry, what's that?
over there, the
Ray Tony.
Ray Tony?
Okay, Tony Ray and Dr. Daniels
Okay.
purchased, you'll see Daniels, they purchased the property and did the 3-lot subdivision, yes. And then you have a DOT part with a tower here. And so this is the area in between the turnpike and the 429, and I'll just show you real quickly.
Oh, can we get some package here?
Have it up, see if I can get it to work. Yeah, there we go. So that's the Cube Smart 1.
Where did I see that?
You can see the entering Ocoee sign. The Cube Smart 1 has retail units in the bottom, and then it's storage in the building. You can see the back part of the original site plan. This building will be back here, back off. I don't think they drove down this road. Oh, they did. It's older because the Cube Smart's on this parcel, but this is that West Run Road, and this is the access to the lot where the addition's going. We've got this would be the gun club parcel, and you can see through the trees there as you go through. This parcel is, the building will be back there, then you have the pause and play building, and then back here is the drainage tract.
Dr. Daniels didn't tell us what they're gonna do with the back part of his thing.
He owns the front. He's got 2 parcels right up on the front. And the kind of front 50 and one kind of fronts the ramp. Tony Ray owns the back part. He doesn't have
He didn't have a plan.
no plan. So,
Mike, is there any place where it mentions the elevation of these buildings? Because you're talking about RV storage. And will that second building also be RV?
yes, I'll show you.
I couldn't seem to find elevations on other than floor elevation.
Yes. So these are slips for backing in the RV.
Okay,
This is
so
RV
That's
storage.
RV as well.
And
All right.
this is all indoor, yes. The elevation, the colors don't, it'll match the building next to it. The colors didn't show through. We're trying to get an updated elevation.
Is there a dimension, I can't quite read it. Is there a dimension of the roof height?
Well, you can have the engineer answer that.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't, it's
All right.
too small here to read.
Yeah, I can't.
So,
Oh, he's right here. Okay, great.
you have recommending, this is a preliminary final site plan in a straight zone. This is not a PUD with any special criteria. It's normal setbacks, landscaping requirements along the roadway. No waivers with this plan. I will tell you, and I'll bring this up later on, but we are looking at doing a moratorium in the city in specific overlay areas to look at the density of storage facilities we have.
Yes.
So this project, if that moratorium goes through, this was already submitted and in the books. This
Okay.
was one of the reasons we started looking at it.
I was going to get to that.
We do have another approved storage facility, all indoor, like the building up front here, right here. This is called the West Orange Investments, and it would be a multiple story indoor storage. Beyond that,
That's
There's
best.
one across the street already.
there's one across the street already.
The one in the
There's
corner,
one up over,
And
McGuire.
the one on McGuire is actually,
that's been there.
has a site plan to
Expand?
increase on the
Oh.
lot in front of it. It's a small lot,
Mhm.
put some more units there. So I'll discuss that when we go after this item.
The one on the
public hearing.
farm to market road there in 50, that's vested in already?
Which one's?
That's on the corner of, is it Farm to Market? or-
Marshall's Farm
Marshall
Group?
Farms,
Yes,
yeah.
that one is an approved site plan, and
So
they
that's done, okay.
have a building plan
So we
in.
have several available. if
We
anyone
have
needs
several
them.
available and several coming out of the ground.
We'll be amply supplied with storage.
Any other questions for this?
For our
Mike?
population, well, people are gonna start
Anyone?
looking up north for a location with all the homes coming in, so.
All right. If not, I guess I'll ask the, oh, go ahead.
There is a storage lot just on the Apopka
Yes.
side of the line.
All right, I'll ask the applicant to identify yourself, name and address and all that, and we'll be asking some questions.
All right, Tom Skelton, American Civil Engineering Company, 207 North Moss Road, Suite 211, Winter Springs, 32708.
Thank you. Thank you. And I guess my question is, what elevation are we talking about for roof height?
I believe it's 24 feet, but I think that's the maximum portion. I think that the average is like 16 feet.
Is that about the same level as the building that's there now, the two-story building?
Yeah, it's smaller, it's
Oh,
only
it's
one
even
story,
lower then.
yes.
Okay.
It's one story. They're allowed 2 stories, but they only went 1 story on this one.
All right. What size RVs will you be parking in there?
Not real sure. I think they're 50 feet deep, so I'm not sure.
How tall? We're looking at.
Again, I think the height is 16 feet for that building
Yeah.
in the back, so,
Will that be the actual opening of the garage door?
Most of them
Right.
are 13 feet or less.
yeah, to get under the bridges.
Okay. All right. Any other questions of the applicant by anyone?
Where's
Don,
the
go ahead.
drainage system? Is it going to that tract?
Yes.
To the south?
Master stormwater tract right here. I'll show you on the aerial. Yeah, yes.
I just
So
don't,
there's a maximum impervious per each lot in order to fulfill the St. John's requirement for this pond.
okay, I
So-
see it.
So, yes. In Ocoee, if you have a master stormwater system, you can increase your maximum impervious. And so typically, in these commercial subdivisions, they do that.
That's
So
pretty
there'll
much
be-
all impervious, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
There's
some
there's
landscape.
20%. There's 20% open space at least. This one has,
It's got a landscape plan in here.
I think, 24%.
Is that the calculation, 24? Well, that's the drawing.
22.3% open space.
Okay. I know our staff would look at that rather closely to make sure that they fall within the guidelines. All right. Any other questions?
You might want to keep in mind your smaller lots are going to need self-storage units there. All those,
Yes, you're right. They do generate that kind of
They're gonna need a place
requirement,
to park their boat.
especially when we make them park something in the garage besides stuff.
How about planning and zoning members? We get free storage over there?
Ooh, gotta be careful with that. Sunshine laws and all that.
right now you do.
Yeah.
You can park over there now, right?
I think the one aerial or the picture had the boat stored on the west run,
Oh,
if I've seen it right.
Yes.
All right, any other comments, questions of the applicant or staff? Hearing none, I guess we'll call for a motion.
It's a public hearing. It's a
Oh,
public hearing.
I'm sorry,
Public hearing.
I didn't get that far. Okay, we'll take a moment for a public hearing. We'll open the public hearing now. Seeing and hearing no one for the public hearing, we'll close the public hearing. Thank you for that
Sure.
oversight. Appreciate it. Going back to the, looking for a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion. I move that the Planning and Zoning Commission, acting as the local planning agency, recommend to the Ocoee City Commission approval of the Cube Smart Storage at Lot 4, West 50 Commercial Subdivision.
Second.
Okay, that is the project LS 2016005. I think I heard a second over here.
Yes.
Jim, okay. Any issues, any questions, further discussion? Hearing none, call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say no. Hearing none? Looks like it's unanimous. Thank you, I guess that closed that. Thank you, sir, appreciate your help. Okay, Mike. Mr. Roomer.
Yes.
Tom?
With staff's participation in the ICSC, the International Council of Shopping Centers, most recently in Orlando this month, we had a booth, and we had a lot of traction. The city has past member Angel de la Portilla as an economic development consultant. We have had a lot of traction, specifically in the Highway 50 area. We went to the ICSC trying to push the downtown, and the 429 and 50, we had a lot of traction. We've got a lot of interest in discount retail stores, dollar stores. Again, some more automotive uses, repair uses, fast food. And I had an inquiry on a fast food where they were going to turn the building sideways to the main road where you'd see the drive-through, so that way they could purchase less property and not have it run conventionally. We've got people looking at retail buildings to then try to get it positioned where once the medical marijuana is allowed to be dispensed, they could potentially get a dispensary. So we're just looking at siting criterias, density, and uses. We cannot eliminate a lot of these uses in a general commercial area or heavy commercial area. So what we've done is we've talked to the commission. They've directed us to come back with a moratorium on our overlay areas and our activity centers to give us a chance to look at this. Certainly, it's specifically automotive repair, discount convenience stores, pharmaceutical dispensaries, fast food, check cashing, real limited list of items, nothing that would give us a black eye in the economic development world if we stop some of them coming in for a short while. It's tough when you're out there promoting open for business, but then it's, well, we only want certain businesses. So you're going to see that in another 2 agendas from now. So to just make you aware of that. We do have a property that is very vital to Ocoee and in the area where the old Sable Hotel. We have the Popeyes fast food restaurant that came in, and we are working with the property owner. He had some other interest on that list I told you to really hold out for something better. Just a quick update on the Colony Plaza property. There was a group that had most of it under contract. They've lost some of it, so it's not under contract anymore. We are working with teams, with developers to look at this area. I met with the engineer on this corner piece. They're still getting ready to submit a site plan soon for a retail center with unnamed uses.
What do you mean they lost?
The group that had it under contract, that
expired or something?
Expired, they didn't fulfill, they didn't close. So we still have the 429 overlay we're finalizing to bring back. We have a small area study, and we have the downtown development plan. The commission has informally agreed to a project list. It's a generic project list that we're kind of fine-tuning and going through, and we'll bring it back to them at a workshop at a city commission meeting that everyone that's been a part will know. So you can be looking for that.
All right, going back to your moratorium, that area, is that just strictly 50 in the overlay?
No,
or
so it could be the 429, it could be Highway 50.
Silver Star, I mean, what are we talking?
At Silver Star and Clark.
Okay, so it's citywide then, basically.
See if I can get this to work. I brought an ad, the location map to show the attorney for the ad we have to place. Not gonna be able to get it to work. I'll hold it up. Basically,
Oh, that's good, yeah.
it's West Road,
Hey, put on my-
it's Highway 50, and your Clark Road. Yeah, we have one activity
Okay.
center called the Silver Star Activity Center.
Okay,
It's a
so
Silver
activity
Star and
centers.
Clark.
All right.
It hasn't, the boundaries haven't been defined by the Land Development Code, but it's generally a quarter mile in each direction of the center line of that road. So this is all the different activity centers and overlays we have mumbo jumboed in there. It'll be cleaned up. So that's really the main area. Then we have this area at Clark and Silver Star.
Okay, I understand we can't restrict people's uses of the properties in many cases. I'm not liking the idea of turning the drive-through towards 50, but what else can be put in that to enhance these, the aesthetics of these properties as far as landscaping, structural framing,
Right,
shapes
well,
and sizes?
for instance, on Highway 50, we already have pretty stringent signage requirements and landscaping
Signs.
requirements, but it will be positioning. We don't have positioning of bays, or maybe you can limit it by density. If you have so many, we have 5 car repair places on 50 in a mile. There is a way you can control it by density, perhaps. I haven't been a part of that type of a process, but it is out there.
Is there a national standard for density of dollar stores?
Yeah, that's right. It's a new trend. We're just in that trend
There we
area,
go,
Greg.
another
You
trend,
know,
yeah,
it's,
just gotta bow to the trend.
and for
So
some
it'll be
reason,
$2 stores.
people want us to be the trendsetter, but not
Yeah.
on the,
We have a lot
yes.
of furniture places, we found that out when we started looking for a piece of furniture the other day.
yes.
Surprisingly. But going back to the old Perkins site and hotel site there, what's this Popeyes going to look like? Is there going to be
We don't,
anything the
this,
city can do to help make that a
there's a
nicer looking
confusion. We have a
corner?
community redevelopment area, and it's generally shown, it's generally located, oh, that's too far. I'm trying to get more parcel-based. It's generally all of the stuff on 50 down to Clark. That's the CRA. In that area, that's a taxing district where they get money. Tax increment financing goes back into that.
But can we help to just dictate
Well-
how these buildings look?
That's the goal. So within the CRA, we have 3 specific overlays on areas. McGuire and 50, this is target area 1. So yes, we have the ability today. Target area 2 is around Lake Bennett. Yes, we have that ability today. Target area 3 is the hospital. Anywhere else where this Sable Hotel was, we do not have specific standards other than the normal Highway 50 overlay, which doesn't get into that type of positioning. It just talks about you can't have metal skin building, you can't have outside menu boards or shopping carts, or you got to be specific to the retail aspect of it. So that's the goal, is to look at how can we position these appropriately. For instance, automobile repair. We had a tire kingdom that wanted to come in on this lot right here, and they wanted 8 bays. It was a heavy automotive, no pedestrian. I mean, you wouldn't walk near the place. So we were able to real quickly take out automobile tire repair out of the C2 zoning. Well, the only place it can go is C3. You wouldn't put it in industrial. So we can't write it at now. In C3, these areas along 50 all have C3 zoning. So we can't take it out, but we can maybe with density we can, or maybe positioning make it unaffordable or less attractive. So
So I want to get a collection of just sort of semi-tenable businesses,
right, yes,
you know, cluttering up the whole landscape there. We want to have a first-class looking place.
yes,
Well, 50 is going to be beautiful when it's done, so we don't
Well, the
really
road
wanna-
will.
right, yes.
Yeah, I mean the road, but we're going to put new buildings on, let's try to bring the level
Yes.
up. So looking like sprawl, I guess that's what,
Right, and,
We're all
and
working
some of the
against-
properties are owned by families. You kind of feel a little bit
understand that.
different. Some of them are not, and so.
So the entire site where the Holiday Inn and the Perkins was, that is just one Popeye? Is there
Right
something
now,
else
we
going on?
have a site plan to make buildable pads, and the first buildable pad will be a Popeyes,
Oh,
which will be
okay.
a ground lease.
So-
Now they're deciding on what, they have a potential sale for an urgent care, they have a potential sale for a specific automobile tire repair, they have a potential sale for a Dollar Tree. It's, so the Dollar Tree doesn't.
It's kind of rough on the gateway to, as I consider it one of those.
Yes, it is.
It's kind of a major
Yes, it
spot.
is. So it's tough to
you might come.
be spouting open for business. We're here to help you through the process,
Yeah.
but
Not you.
not you.
Is the DOT planning landscape median for the 50?
Okay, what happens with that is DOT provides a percentage, I want to say 3% of the total project cost back to the government for landscaping. So now they will fence any of their ponds with chain link. So for instance, we have a pond that's off of 50, but it's a DOT pond for 50 Blueford across from the police station. We've designed a park, so we'll take that money for the fence and then we'll upgrade it to a wrought iron decorative. So that's what we need to go when at the end of the project, they give you the money for landscaping. So how the city decides, do we want to landscape any of it and be reimbursed, or that all has to be worked out.
But I mean, obviously, if they concrete the whole median, we're not going to landscape anything.
Yes.
They're going to
So
leave it
there's-
open for landscape.
Yes, there is landscape medians in our portion.
It's
Not
very
as-
similar
not-
to that winter garden section.
Yes, right.
So, and there are some plantings in there, and some brick patterns.
Yeah, they
There's
got
some-
palm trees.
yeah,
Yes.
there's-
And one thing we will do, I have a staff member working on it, creating a book. We have a book where we've cataloged all the properties along 50. If we could find their original landscape plan, and we're gonna go after construction and hit them for bringing it up to
at least
the
that-
minimum standard that was approved, so.
We had a fairly nice landscaping along the area across from the hospital, there's a bank there, a tire place, furniture place.
Yes,
So hopefully they'll be back up to that level, at least in that
Right.
area. And I expect it should be nice around Lake Bennett when that's finished and the second bridge is done.
yes, yes.
And now, looking at Lake Bennett and that West Orange
City Center, West
City
Orange?
Center,
Yes,
why
that,
is it not called Ocoee, but that's another question. Where's the Hilton supposed to be on that?
it's,
Like at 11 o'clock on the lake?
it would be it would front Main Street, it would be in the building, on Main Street. There's a part of the building is a hotel, so.
Oh, okay.
We're talking to a potential, another hotel operator in Orlando, operates several hotels. They say they can also use another small hotel there that they can build under that same brand umbrella. So it just depends on, so we're looking at things. But the City Center West Orange, if you have a second, I could play a video for
Sure.
you.
You can do that, right, guys?
Sorry, Milton.
It's raining, right?
If you missed it over Labor Day weekend, it was built and it's operational. So if you haven't been by there since Labor Day, you're going to see it's built and operating.
What is?
City Center, West Orange. We have a really good building inspection crew. If not playing the volume, I don't know why. So the hilt would be on that east side in the back. You'll see the pool deck.
Like 11 o'clock.
Yes, so this is, while you were enjoying your Labor Day holiday, this was constructed. This is actual drone footage.
Oh, you're serious?
His tongue is firmly in his cheek.
I missed that.
The stuff that you're seeing pop up now are future phases. The two buildings on the right side is all that we have approved at this point. This is marketing material showing the opportunity for more rooftops to generate interest. Townhomes, yes, condos. I mean, not townhomes.
What is it that's
condos.
going on along Blueford right now, under construction? Is that the apartments?
Yes.
Okay. Hope to see all those trees in there.
Does that line up with Blackwood right there? Those buildings?
Black would be at that far end.
Far end.
That is Richmond,
Oh, okay. I
right
got you.
there.
That's Main
And-
Street.
50 is that?
Right where it
Yes.
stops is about where the cemetery is, I think.
Looks like.
So who needs it downtown when we got this?
That's the question I asked. Graphics is terrific.
Looks like Baldwin Park.
Really good photo.
Capital income is going up.
Small lots and things.
That's it.
None of these uses have been confirmed.
Sprouts, what is Sprouts? Is it-
It's a grocery.
So is this one developer who came up with all this, or is this a combination of city ideas and a developer? Who's Mr.
This is
Moneybags?
developer driven. This is based off City Place, West Palm. And it's, you've seen, there's stuff in Windermere, Dr. Phillips area. You've got small, where Dexter's is. You've got a very small scale. It works. I mean, Burger Fi, I ate there the other day. You will see me walking across the pool deck. If you saw that real quick, the guy with no hair, they, well, they, God,
So you
I
run
know.
I saw a speed on there.
So, we do have a Kiki's in Ocoee, and if any of you need it in McGuire Road, it's very good. We will have that bridge, that Conspan bridge that was approved by St. John's, and it holds water. It actually has water storage, so.
Excellent,
Got
excellent.
any,
Pretty cool.
any new businesses going in up there off West Road? Ocoee Baptist?
I don't know either.
No?
Nothing.
I might be in
Nurses someday.
Dunkin' Donuts is doing good
Build
business.
some
It is good.
I've helped them out a couple times.
Mr. Rumor, is there anything on the project status update you want to tell us about? other than
That's
what you just
that's the
did?
project
That's it?
status there is. The city center, city center, the plan and the development agreement went to the city commission. Next, the development agreement will go to the Community Redevelopment Agency Board for approval. They will be, with the site plan approval, now they can switch some of their development arm company and financing. So we have all the applications correctly signed by the authorized owners for the St. John's permit. The city has to sign some because the stormwater ponds are taking to public roads. They will cut the architect loose November 1st to finish the design of the buildings. It'll take 8 months for the building to be designed. We will be meeting with them at different stages, going over, so when we get the plan, the building plans are gonna be really thick. We can hopefully approve them within a month or so.
Wow.
And so you're gonna have a year before you see the building start to go up. So,
Okay. All right, any other questions or comments by staff?
Make a motion.
I know what this one
Make a motion to adjourn.
Otherwise, we're looking for a
Second.
motion. We got a second. We're out of here. Thank you.